Hi folks, so this is kind of a long-term review of my Honda PCX after coming to this bike from a Silverwing. My wife also has the identical bike. We bought a matching pair of them, and we rode Silverwings for years. I believe the Silverwing came out in 2002. We had a matching pair of red 2002s when we got our Silverwings. And we also had the last model year that Honda built, which I believe were 2013 ABS models. And, you know, the Silverwing, it got kind of long in the tooth on design compared to some of the other maxi scooters. And it wasn't a real popular seller for Honda, so they just discontinued the bike. The PCX is, I'm not going to say real popular in the United States, but it is extremely popular overseas in Europe and Asia. And long term, it was definitely worth the upgrade going from the Silverwing to the PCX. This bike is a 2021. And it has the new engine that Honda built for these bikes. It's the 4-valve larger displacement engine compared to the PCX 150. In 2020, they were still PCX 150s, and in 2021, they just went to calling them a PCX. And the engine in this bike is a 160. So I guess they could be called a PCX 160, but Honda just calls them a PCX. And they changed a few things from the 2020s. They went to the new wider dash where the 2020s had that kind of a round deal in the center of the dash there. They went to the new wider style dash for 2021. They changed the front end of the bike. LED headlights. Turn signals are still up here like the 2020s were, but the 2020s had like a extra body panel part in here. They eliminated all that for 2021. Went to new styling on the front end. The back end of the bike, basically, I think that's the same as the 2020. It's got the X tail light, LED tail light and turn signals. The turn signals are actually very bright. Both front and rear. So there was a few styling changes, and this bike has got a completely new frame as compared to what the 2020s had. Cradle style frame. Otherwise, a lot of the features are the same as the 2020s and older. Even the trunks from the 2020s and earlier will fit on this bike. They did change one thing on the 2021s. You have to take this entire grab rail cover off from here over to here. Remove this entire grab rail cover. And underneath there's a single screw that holds this cover on. And remove that cover, put your grab rail cover back on. And then it exposes 4 bolt holes right here in the aluminum grab rail support. So you can put your trunk base on there and mount either the Honda OEM trunk or an aftermarket trunk or whatever on it. I'm not a real big fan of trunks. When we don't do long distance riding, I prefer strap-on soft luggage on the back. And I've got a tunnel bag that sets in here. And that's my preference. I don't like the hard case trunk. I'm not really that fond of them. So that's just my preference. This we got the OEM Honda tall touring windscreens on these instead of the short one. The stock PCX short one is only maybe about that tall. So we got the Honda OEM touring windscreens on them, which it's a very nice windscreen, pretty much turbulence free. Wind noise is very low. So as compared to the Silverwing, the seat on these is more comfortable. The PCX 150s, I don't remember if they had the same seat or not, but on the 2021 anyway, and newer, this is a very, very comfortable seat, very comfortable seating position. No need to do anything as far as aftermarket seats on these. Just a superb seat. And other thing that's different from the Silverwing is that the radiator on the PCX is side mounted down here instead of front mounted. So that eliminates bugs getting into the radiator, rock and stone damage, and sandblast damage. Your radiator is not in the front, it's on the side, which I think is actually better. The seat, for raising the seat on the Silverwing, there was a key cylinder in the left rear quarter panel here that you had to stick the bike key in and turn it to unlatch the seat. On the PCX, the ignition key, well, when it's in this position, everything is locked. There's a rocker switch here, and that's all locked. You can't activate it. But when the key switch is in the first position, you can press the rocker switch down, and that releases the seat, so you can open your seat. And the Silverwing had a gas cylinder, or a gas strut, that supported the seat, where the PCX has a spring type unit here. And you can leave the seat resting on that, like that, or you can tip the seat completely ahead and get it completely out of the way for getting to your stuff in your luggage compartment. So I think that's a better design than what the Silverwing had. Luggage compartment in this holds just about identical to what the Silverwing was. It holds the same stuff. Doesn't have the rear compartment that went under here like the Silverwing had, but that wasn't really all that useful anyway. But otherwise, the luggage capacity is about the same. For fueling, the Silverwing had a push to lock door here, kind of like the glove box is on this one. Push on latch and push to close. On this one, you just press the rocker switch the other way, the fuel door opens. You can remove your gas cap, and it's got a little storage thing right here to put your gas cap in while you're fueling up. There's a tray in here like the Silverwing had. If you splash any fuel out or run it over, it will catch the overflow, and there's a hose there that will drain it out on the road or the blacktop or whatever you're sitting on. The PCX comes with a USB-C port in here for charging your iPhone, which the Silverwing never had. Silverwing came with a hole to put like a power socket in there, but it didn't actually have anything in that hole. And you had to install like an aftermarket power socket and wire it all up into the electrical system. So, yeah, the PCX comes with a 3 amp USB-C port in there to plug your iPhone in or your tablet or whatever. Charge it up. This bike has a 2.1 gallon gas tank, and you might think that's kind of small compared to the Silverwing, but it actually has about the same range as the Silverwing between fill-ups. This bike gets over double the fuel mileage. I've averaged 106.9 miles per gallon. You can see that I've got 4,552 miles on this bike in 2 years. So that's mostly highway riding, 106.9. So being that this bike gets over double the fuel mileage of the Silverwing, it can have half the fuel capacity and it still has the same range. Brakes. This is a non-ABS model, and the 2021s were available with ABS, but we didn't get it. We had these bikes on order a long time before they even came in, and we just ordered the standard brakes. It does have Honda's combined braking system, so if you squeeze the rear brake lever, it will apply both the front and rear brake together. The front brake just applies the front brake. The rear brake on these is a rod-operated drum type, as compared to the Silverwing's disc. But that drum brake has got every bit of the braking power that the the Silverwing's rear disc had. And that drum brake is also the park brake. So when you squeeze the left lever and pull your park brake knob out, it applies that rear drum brake, and that's the park brake, so it doesn't roll off the side stand on a hill. The Silverwing had a disc brake with a hydraulic caliper on the rear, and it had a goofy, like cam-operated extra caliper on the top for the park brake. And I actually think this is a better setup than what than all that hardware that the Silverwing had hanging on there for a rear brake. Front brake on this is a single disc, just like the Silverwing had. There's the caliper down there. So the front brake is just a single disc, and that also has plenty of power. You have no need for dual discs on the front at all. So yeah, that's kind of an overview of the bike. It definitely was worth the upgrade going from the Silverwing to the PCX. And as far as performance, this bike will run with the Silverwing any day. If you wanna do cross-country touring or cross-country riding, this bike will run with the Silverwing anytime you want to run with one. It's got all kinds of power. So basically, I really like the bike. I feel it was definitely worth the upgrade to go from the Silverwing to the PCX. And my wife enjoys hers as much as I enjoy this one.